All right. Well, hello there, Site 42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation community. And welcome to another field mission with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director and Head Containment Specialist here at Site 42 of the SCP Foundation. And as I have been for the last 8.5 months and counting, the streak remains strong, I am here live, despite the fact that I am not in the office, to answer your questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff that contain them, the groups of interest that try to stop us from containing them, quite rudely, I will say, and of course, hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps they're from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom, we are here for the next approximately 30 minutes to discuss a standard Q&A. But before I begin, let me do some quick housekeeping. Dr. Vincent Wren, congratulations on being our #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team. Congratulations on being first chatter. Alongside you, Zombie Cat, Oswald the Scarlet King, Philip November, Dr. Puppeteer, Senior Researcher Alex, Amber, Silent Follower, Jace, Dr. Darkstar, Joseph Vote, Cody, Clough, Just Pit, Woscom, Aoki, Legendary Doge. Anyone else? Dr. Frogman. I think I said Aoki, but Aoki in case I didn't. Aflac, Cypher's Girl. Scrolling. Everyone who I've just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as well as members of Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Alongside you all, intern Deborah Jones, intern Rumi, intern Noel Lee, intern SCP-953, and SCP-049. Congratulations on being here punctually, and thank you for being here just for being you. Now, many of you have noticed, I am not in the office. I am not in the lab. It is time for a field mission. I am currently landed at my destination, which is why this stream is so late by our normal standards. I've been flying all day. I am using anomalous libations to hold myself at bay. And, of course, when you've got to have the best, you send your site director on a field mission. And so I'll be filling you in with details along the way as we try to avert another containment disaster in this world, this universe, this multiverse, all over. No, it wasn't a red eye. It was just all day, raw caution. I flew out at 8 a.m. my time. It is now 7 p.m. in my destination. So I'm now on the east coast of the United States. And yes, I am a bit tired because, as Zombie Cat says, flying wears you out. That it does. Although it always goes better if you tip your air stewardesses. Let me just give you a life tip here. If you're gonna get food and drink on the flight anyways, just tip the flight attendants. Because if you're nice to them, they'll give you a bunch of stuff for free, and then you're giving the money to the people and not to the big corporate overlords. I don't know. I think that sounds nice. I think that sounds nice. Furthermore, just so you guys know, because I'm in the field at this particular location, I do not have access to back channels of any sort. That means I cannot speak to Des. Des has to speak to me in the chat with the rest of you. And it means that I do not have access to the Ko-Fi today. Throughout this field mission, I will have access to Wi-Fi and my iPad, in which case the Ko-Fi will be available. But for now, I can see you in the chat, and I can pop in to see super chats. But that's about it. Last thing, why are you pink? Well, because I've been flying all day, I'm tired, and my face is always a little ruddy. My face is always looking like I just had a bad run-in with SCP-507. That is my cross to bear. So, just deal with it. I saw some donations come in. Let me get those real quick so I don't miss them. Affleck, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some honey roasted peanuts at the airport bar on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, how's the field work going? The bear made a new bear, this time out of A10 warthogs. What the fuck? You're right, what the fuck is the right response to that? Furthermore, okay, I'm glad I'm not dealing with that scenario. I'm glad it's your problem and not mine. I wish you the best of luck. I'm on a field mission, so I'm just gonna handle this out here. You handle that there. How about that? How's that sound? Philip November, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Anomalous beverage on your way past the commissary if you're old enough. Otherwise, grab yourself a club soda. Where have you been deployed this time? We are currently on the East Coast of the United States, which is all the details I can give you at this time. Although as I continue on this mission and I find out some details myself, I will be able to inform you along the way. Why are you broadcasting messages of the SCP Foundation to the public? You must be new to the Site 42 stream, so we do not stream to the public. We stream using negotiated back channels of the algorithm, care of YouTube, Google, and Alphabet, their parent company. We only broadcast to SCP Foundation staff members who are in the know. Now, if you're not in the know, it might be because you're an awoken sleeper agent, in which case your mission briefing is under your desk right there. So go ahead, put that to use, and welcome back, agent. Make sure you lie down for a minute. That kick from the Nestics, ooh, that's tough. Furthermore, sometimes we broadcast to the general public, civilians, if we're in a broken masquerade, which is where everyone knows about the Anomalous and the Foundation and we have to do PR. But this is not that universe. Although I do broadcast to some because their PR is piss poor. And so they broadcast my streams because I'm doing a better job. You're welcome. What is that, a dart? Yes, this is my lucky dart. One time while I was traveling with my standard travel pack, I was shooting darts, and this dart went and it landed in my bag in one of these slots. And since then, this has been the travel dart. It stays with the bag, I stay alive. Everyone's happy. Is Puppy of Interest 42 in good hands? Affleck, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, is in the best of hands. Agent Goose is the site animal wrangler for a reason. Actually, it's in better hands with Agent Goose than Puppy of Interest 42 is with me. So we're fine. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say that stream is a bit on the fritz. That makes sense. These field missions, they're always a bit spotty, but we do the best with what we can. Either way, the streak remains strong, and isn't that what all that matters? Wait, so where's Sherman at right now? I just popped in. Avari, good to see you. Welcome to stream. And yes, we are currently in the field. We are on the East Coast of the United States. I've been flying all day. I have just arrived, and I'm getting to you guys as soon as I can to make sure the streak remains strong. What's a field mission? Nothing. What's a field mission with you? I'm just joking. No. A field mission is when you have to go out in the field. You can't just stay in the lab all day. Sometimes you need to get out, and sometimes that means vacation. Sometimes that means you have to go on a dangerous mission in the public. And sometimes both. What was that low hum? Ignore that. That's just the cognitohazardous generator that I have to make sure that no one around me knows what's going on. It's better than a VPN. It makes a VPN look like a UPN, which, if you are familiar with television channels of the 90s and 2000s, you know that that was a sick, sick burn. Intern Skylar, if it is actually your birthday, well, welcome to the stream and happy birthday to you. Dr. Sherman, would you still stream during the events that happened in Anastasis, essentially SCP Pacific Rim? I mean, you saw what I did with the field mission to see the Mr. Hands battle in real time. So I think the answer is a clear yes. Dr. Sherman, what is this field mission about? Intern King. I wish I could tell you more, but all I know right now is that a local team of agents has gone dark. And no contact from agents who are in the field working a case means that either they've been captured, killed in action, or they're in the middle of something very dire. And so we are in preliminary investigation, which is why I've been sent to the scene. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, as long as that hum isn't the hum buzz of the fluorescent lights of the back rooms. Well, if Async would let me in there, then maybe I could see what that sounds like. But they're hogging the whole anomaly. It's very rude, if you ask me. Woscom, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some sun chips on your way past the airport lobby. Be careful, just got reports of CIA agents in the area. Well, yes, there are some certain military bases nearby, and I do not want to be dealing with the unusual incidents unit on this. That would be very frustrating. So let us hope for the best that we can avoid any encounters with them. Also, I just remembered this. In case you do donate to the stream, right now, because I'm in the field like this, it does not show me any donations under $5 in the chat. I have to go to a special special menu to see those. So if you send a donation under $5, I will get to it. I will not miss it, but I might not get it in order. Ooh. Yep, the trolls be a trollin', that's how we know. Cypher's Girl, thank you for donating for the first time of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a fruit basket on your way past the airport lounge. Why is your hair pink and can I give 035 candy? Well, clearly the answer to the second one is no. After all, it does not even have a mouth. Besides its masky mouth, which does not eat. It is a mask. It does not need sustenance. Furthermore, my hair is pink because it was dyed that way by the on-site stylist, who did a very good job. Now, this is not the full pink that we did as a 2,500 members of the channel goal, but this is a tropical sunset palette of red, orange, and purple and pink. And it's fading very well. It looks pretty cool still, even as it's faded away for a couple months. But we're going to repalette it at our next session. Does Bruce Almighty count as an SCP? Intern Donna Waka. If it is anomalous, but not on the SCP wiki, we have a saying. It's anomalous, but it's not an SCP. When it comes to Bruce Almighty, it is anomalous as hell. I mean, literally became God. But not on the SCP database, not on the SCP database as an SCP, therefore not an SCP. The SCP Foundation does not allow entities from outside of the fandom because we only accept our own original characters. That way they can fit within our Creative Commons rules. Double checking all of my chat members' menus to make sure I'm not missing anything. All clear. Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite organization that works like the Foundation but from a different media? Dr. Frogman, if I had to give props to another anomalous containment agency. I mean, okay, let me start with honorable mentions. Cecil from the television series Invincible and Agent K from the Men in Black get my respect as curmudgeonly containment agents with a good head on their shoulders for what their job is supposed to be. No nonsense. I like that for the both of them. Now, their agencies, not the best of the best, but those agents themselves, they deserve it. Commendations. But if I had to give a favorite, I would say Global Dynamics from the television series Eureka is my favorite organization because unlike most containment-based things, they really focus on the research. And as the SCP Foundation, we secure, contain, and protect, but we also do a lot more science than most of these containment groups. And so I appreciate that for Global Dynamics. Woscom, thank you for donating again to say, oh shit, boom, an old clone has escaped. Well, get it back. We don't want clones running around. We're gonna have a whole mixing them up and pointing a gun at both of them and saying, I don't know which one to shoot scenario, and that's just tired at this point. Get them back in the box. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I hear Maine is a nice state to visit, especially a town with a very enthusiastic clown. It just wants to make people happy and float. It doesn't want to make them happy. It wants to make them scared so it can feed. We're handling it. Overseer 1, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself a ginger ale on your way past the airport lobby. Day off, I see, Doc. Have fun on the dart. I'm in the field. It is not a day off. I am still working, unfortunately. Like I ever stop. Yeesh. Dr. Sherman, what's your favorite site? I literally run Site 42. It is clearly my baby, and I'm in charge of it, and I love it. It's the best. What do you think of Warehouse 13? You know, they could use some more funding. They're a little run down, but I do appreciate the work they do. So, they're good in my book. Scrappy is what I like to call them. And scrappy in a good way, not in a Scooby-Doo scrappy bad way. Double checking so I haven't missed any notifications here. Woscom, thank you for donating again to say, it's a super soldier clone, it's tearing apart the site. Well, it's just one clone. Yeah, super soldiers are strong, but it's not gonna rip out walls or doors. Well, it can rip off doors, but not walls. I mean, it might Kool-Aid Man through a wall. Note to self, make sure we've got the Kool-Aid Man locked up properly this time. Listen, you get enough troops, you can handle a super soldier. Get on it. Overseer, thank you for donating again to say, fine, I will make the paperwork for your full week off. I'll take the load in the meantime. Well, if you can handle that, that saves me a little trouble out here in the field, so I'd appreciate it. I mean, you're in the database anyways, so you can move some digits around, I'm sure. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I wish the Lost Room was given a chance to do its thing and not get forgotten. I wish the Lost Room was given a chance to do its thing and not get forgotten. Is this something I should know about? Is this an SCP-related anomaly? Is this a series outside of our genre? It's just kind of a generic name, and it's not ringing a bell right now. Affleck, thank you for donating again to say, Dr. Sherman, I just heard whispers of a merger between ORIA and GRU Division P. Think we should mediate or prevent it? Well, GRU Division P is mostly defunct. They just have a couple scraps of a couple of groups now. I mean, what good could they do for the Iranians? I mean, the Russians and Iranians are already kind of friends, so it wouldn't be shocking. If I got my global politics right, it depends on what universe and the multiverse you're in, if they are or are not friends. Meanwhile, the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts is a lot larger and has a lot more anomalies than the remnants of the GRU Division P, which is, of course, the Russia's version of the UIU. I want you to investigate this a little bit because I need to know what anomalies the GRU has on hand. If they are making this kind of move, they might have something to offer ORIA, and I don't like the sound of that. Wait, what was that about Islamic artifacts? Researcher Just Pitt, a group of interest that the Foundation has a lot to deal with, is called ORIA, O-R-I-A. They are the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts. They are based out of Tehran, and they are basically Iran's version of the SCP Foundation, or the UIU, or the GRU Division P. You can look them up on the database. They have a group of interest hub, a whole lot of artifacts and stories. So yes, ORIA, the Office for the Reclamation of Islamic Artifacts. Dr. Sherman, are you feeling okay? You sound a little stuffy. Researcher green coated, don't worry. I am A, just off of a day of flight, so I'm a little tired. B, I am in a place where I need to keep my theater kid voice in check. It would be rude and detrimental to secrecy if I spoke with my normal booming tone. So this is just a restrained Dr. Sherman. That is all. Wait, are you a doctor? Well, intern battle drone, not a medical doctor, but I am a containment specialist for the SCP Foundation. I am just in the field right now, so I'm not wearing my lab coat around. My application to the SCP Wiki got accepted today, so I'm officially going to start the greenlight process for my superhero-styled tale tonight. Very interesting. Congratulations on getting accepted to the Wiki. That means you put in at least a little effort, which is more than most can say. So congratulations on that. And now comes the hard part, making the rest of it happen. So keep up the good work. You're on your way. Dr. Sherman, are you wearing a Doctor Who sweatshirt? Yes, intern Anomalous. When I'm incognito, it helps to make yourself beyond suspicion. And obviously, I would never be a fan of that rampaging, timey-wimey bastard. So by wearing his merchandise, it's a great way to stay incognito. That is all. Also, it is a very high-quality hoodie. It's actually getting old and kind of beat up, and I want to find a new one, but of course they're out of print, so it's going to take some work, but it's a really good hoodie. It's a good, heavy fabric. Let me catch up on the donos back here. Overseer, thank you for donating again to say, your week off starts in an hour. I'll start to compute your site paperwork in a minute. All right. Well, thank you for that little load off my work slate. Cypher 20,091, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a omelet on your way past the airport lounge. Did you do something different with your hair today? It looks like it, I feel like it looks cooler than it usually does. Well, all I've done is, I gotta be honest, usually you guys are catching me right out of the shower after the morning affairs and doing the gym and all that, or yoga or something like that. And so my hair is very slick when I get to you guys, very instantly done. This is after flying and running around, and so it's a fluffier and more voluminous than it typically is. This is end of day hair, not start of day hair. Springtrap, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Intern Springtrap, grab yourself a cantaloupe on your way past the airport lounge. Springtrap has escaped, what do I do? Well, aren't you Springtrap? Your user handle says you're Springtrap. If Springtrap has escaped and you're Springtrap, will you go back into your containment cell? That would be nice. Can you just do that? Redfail Hawk, thank you for your 3-month member message as a level 1 researcher here at Site 42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Grab yourself a, oh wait, that's a dono, not a membership. Got it. Thank you for your service. Favorite doctor, mine is 10 and 4. Well, 10-4, good buddy. If I had to pick a favorite of that, I mean, obviously I hate all of them, but let's say the 9th doctor, the one with the funny ears. He was quite charming and affable. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, the Lost Room has anomalous items like a watch that boils eggs when placed in the wristband, and a glass eye that when put in someone's head can destroy people. Okay, but does this destroy the person who's wearing the glass eye, or can they use the glass eye to destroy other people? That's a very important thing to keep track of. Also, where is this Lost Room? Is this a backrooms thing? Is this a movie somewhere? By the way, Site 42 staff, we are 5 minutes from the end of today's stream. 5 minutes from the end of today's stream. As I said, this is a field mission. It's a quickie. So we are 25 minutes into a 30-minute stream. Apples, you are saying it is a Sci-Fi Channel series, The Lost Room. I'll have to check that out. What's the Chaos Insurgency, Dr. Sherman? Intern Danawaya, they are traitors to the Foundation. They branched off and they keep trying to destroy Foundation sites and steal anomalies. Traitorous bastards, the lot of them. Make sure to get some rest. Well, on a field mission like this, I'm not sure if I'll get much rest, but I will duly note Research Green Code's request that I, quote, get some rest. Dr. Sherman, are you attending a Marshall Carter and Dark auction right now? I am not attending a Marshall Carter and Dark auction right now. That's not to say that they don't have locations nearby and it might not come up. I hope it doesn't come up. Those are always very stuffy affairs. And I only brought one good outfit. Film November, thank you for donating again to say, The Lost Room is about a hotel room that was basically cut out of reality and everything that was inside was turned anomalous, even the person that was inside. If you are interested in a haunted hotel scenario, now listen, I don't have the number, but if you go on Site 42's channel to my declassified video on SCP-3999, I break down what was at the time, because the article has been edited since then, but I break down at the time all of the references to different media properties or other SCPs that are in that article. And there is a large section where researcher Talleyrand is trapped inside of an SCP that is an anomalous hotel with a whole bunch of crazy stuff in it. And I can't remember the number of that SCP, but I do mention it in the declassified. And so you can check that out if you want some more haunted hotel anomaly to check out in the meantime. Dr. Sherman, make sure you have mobile task force agents on standby. Tiger Claws, you know I would not be out in the field if I did not have backup. Trust me, security is on alert if I have hit the ground. So they don't pull me out here for small cases. So I've got manpower behind me, trust me. Don't take that out of context. Intern Caleb, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a jelly donut on your way past the airport lounge. Use SCP-5094 to figure out how to make the tree scream or to make more of SCP-500. So Miss J is a fantastic educational app that can teach you to do a lot of things, but it can't teach you to do everything. It can't teach you to do the impossible. And so it just depends on how far up or down the ranking of difficulty making SCP-4521 scream is. I'm not saying it can't. It's totally possible. We should ask Miss J about it. Great anomaly. And definitely Miss J does not know how to make more SCP-500. We've tried that one for sure. Intern Gina Nuttall Owens. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Dr. Sherman, can I draw you in drag? I'll be respectful if you don't want. And both the drag performer iterations as well as the trans ones or the ones that were born women, they're all pretty cool because they're all me anyways. So yes, if you want to draw one of the drag iterations from the multiverse, that's not my problem. Have fun. TVT Productions, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the airport lounge. Where would you put SCP-3812 on a list of strongest SCPs? I would put SCP-3812 right below SCP-6101, which is, as the description states, the most powerful SCP, tied with SCP-777-J, codename Darkblade. Those two are the strongest SCPs, and then 3812 is underneath there. Do I have to donate to ask a question? Intern BBQ Man, you do not, although I do get to the donations in the first place because, you know, they donated, so that's nice to make sure I get to those questions. But I also check the chat, green names or white names, and I do my best to answer that. Although on a short stream, the chances are lower. Falcon9659, thank you for your, thank you for donating. Thank you for asking a good question. I'm new to the community. Any suggestions on where I should begin? I wish I had the tweet on hand or the back channel to get it to you, but I have a list of the most popular SCPs that are talked about in the fandom the basics like 682, 049, 953, 106, 729 SJ. Oh, I hate that one. The GZI, which is 5991, 3305, 029-J, 6542 and 4747. 008-J comes up a lot. Start with those. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say you recognize the bodies in the water. No, you don't. Go to medical, get amnestics, and then work on your CRV training. If you do not get your cognitive resistance value up by the time I get back to site, oh, I will be very cross with you. What's the difference between an SCP area and an SCP site if there is one? EC chair. The difference between an area and a site is more like a set-up campus that is meant to house multiple anomalies, and we can bring things in, we can bring things out. It's a research facility, whereas an area is basically a slap-together site because there's an anomaly we can't move, whether it's because it's too big or impossible to move or a anomalous location. So we set up an area to contain anomalies that we can't move to a site. Intern Cornish, SCP Wish I Knew is a brain rot meme similar to SCP-67, which, as far as canon SCPs go, we don't pay very much attention. Those brain rot memes rise and fail with the time passing. The memes fade, so we don't worry about them. They're not canon to the wiki. Like Area 51? No, not like Area 51 woes come. Area 51 is run by the UIU, which is why it's so slapdash and everybody knows about it. You remember that raid on Area 51? Oh, they can't stop us all? Never would have happened to the Foundation. UI useless! Caleb, thank you for donating again to say, does 2991 try to escape before, or do they not move? I apologize, Caleb. I do not know what SCP-2991 is off the top of my head, and because I'm in the field without an iPad available, I cannot look at the database, so I do not know what 2991 is. So unfortunately, I cannot answer that. Dr. Sherman, 2991 is a scarf looking at its stats. Thank you, desk. Unfortunately, if it's a scarf, if it stays in a box, then that's not much, but if it can possess people or something, maybe it tries to escape. Desk will let us know momentarily. Have you done anything with the Vulgan? Intern Apples, we have worked with Vulgan in the past, rarely. The Vulgan is a very, very busy artist, so it's very hard to keep tabs on him. But we have worked together in the past, collaborated on videos, and actually it is both of our voices in the SCP-049 article. Vulgan playing 049 as always, and myself playing Dr. Theron Sherman, which is the genesis of the Dr. Sherman character. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I just remember that Control has a group that makes anomalous items just like the SCP Foundation has to deal with. Pardon. Does Control have a group that makes anomalies? I know the FBC is their SCP analog, but I did not know they had a group of interest that was making anomalies. But it's been a long time since I played that game, so... All right, we are coming down to the end of stream. I am checking some last-minute notifications to make sure we're all clear for the outro. Charger Plays, long time no see. Good to see you in the chat. And yes, we are out in the field again, for sure. Happens from time to time, you know. Sometimes you got to send it in the big guns. Dr. Vincent Wren, you can make whatever you want with Dr. Sherman as a character. That's the beauty of the SCP. Creative Commons. Creative Commons doesn't mean no copyright, remember. It simply means you don't have to ask permission as long as you release your own work via that same Creative Commons. So as long as you're willing to release your work when it's done, then yeah, you don't got to ask me nothing. Dr. Sherman's free to use as long as you follow the rules of the Creative Commons. A quick skimming, a safe class scarf that can change its length and show signs of sapience. It can change its length, limited movement, and communication. Well, in that case, I don't... Unless I check the logs and see that it tried to, like, snake its way out, I doubt that 2991 has made a big escape, intern Caleb. Philip November, thank you for donating again to say, I'll find it and post it on the Discord. Okay, I hope that it turns out to be something useful for that. I can check that out after stream. And speaking of after stream, we are now at the end of stream. And as always I do on stream, I end stream by telling you guys my favorite SCPs. But of course, I'm not going to tell you guys that my favorite SCPs are the SCPs that I personally wrote. That would be sheer narcissism. That would be cheating. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page and Site 42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can see the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed some voice lines and sound effects too. And while you're on my author page, you can go one tab over to find some links. Some links that people are always asking about, but they never seem to find them. They never seem to find the links. They're just not smart enough. But that's not you guys, no. Mobile Task Force Sci 42, codename The Signal Boosters, is clever enough to find those links. And while you're at those links, you can become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us once at a time. You could do Ko-Fi donations or YouTube Super Chats to donate to us one at a time rather than monthly. Either way, direct donations are the quickest way to donate to Site 42, so we appreciate you if you do that. And if you're part of the broke gang and you can't, trust me, we need engagement people as well, which is why we have Mobile Task Force Sci 42, codename Signal Boosters. As long as you're out there liking the streams, commenting, chatting, sharing, subscribing, all that YouTube business to us, as well as the SCP projects we support, you are helping us to manifest bigger SCP projects in the world, whether that be movies, AAA games, great merch and stuff like that. It's because of you, Mobile Task Force Sci 42, that we're capable of that, so thank you for your service. And now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It's a bit of a rough read. Speed round. 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031-5175-5320-8980. Content warning, the last one's a rough read. Site 42 South has been Dr. Theron Sherman with another field mission with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. And I'll see you in the next video or stream. Well, look around your world, pretty baby. Is it everything you want it to be? A new time, the wrong situation, the right time to roll to me. The right time to roll to me. Yeah. The credit song is Roll to Me by Delamitri. Last minute. That Napoleon guy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a cronut at the commissary. And it's Renderman. Thank you for your first donation to say, as you always say, Site Delta on top. Make sure to grab yourself a Danish on your way past the commissary. Site 42 staff, be safe. Oh, no, one more donation from Caleb. Thank you for donating again to say, do you use Mr. Deeds to capture other SCPs? No, Mr. Deeds is not that competent. Very competent, very willing, but is not infinitely capable. So we use Mr. Deeds for a lot of low-risk tasks, but not that. All right. Be safe, be well, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. As always, secure, contain, protect.